You want to know the stage of the case in the court process. What point in the process is this case at in these cases? And you take that and you look at the times, the age, and so forth. And that will tell you a lot about the process, what processes may need to be adjusted. You want to know which cases involve detained defendants. Again, time is money. And time spent in jail is money that the county's spending to house the individual and so forth. So you want to have that information, and also the continuances. Continuances are the reasons that cases linger most of the time. When I say linger now, I'm not talking about those cases that require a lot of time, and there are those. But I'm talking about cases that linger that shouldn't be lingering. They linger because either there's no movement, there's no predictability, there's nobody monitoring it, or it's just been continued because a matter of convenience. You also want some information on disposed cases to give you some history, the age of the case at the time of disposition, the age of case at disposition for cases involved and detained, the method of disposition, and the number of annual cases disposed compared with number of annual filings by case. You know, if you look at that last one, if you're not disposing of them on this end and there's more coming in than are going out, you know, it's building in the middle there. So it's you need to know that information. Mechanism for implementing effective. Carolyn, time-wise, are we 5 minutes? Okay. Thank God, aren't you saying to yourself, I only have 5 more minutes, then I shut up for a while. Differentiated case management. It was just mentioned over here. How many people know what that is? Okay. How many people have systems that use differentiated case management? Okay. How does it work? How does it work? Outcome-wise, not the process. Yeah. Yeah. Do you find that it impedes your ability to adequately represent your clients in any way? Dadgum, I thought you were a lawyer. Congratulations, but no, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, tremendous. Anybody else? What's your experience has been with it? Those that use it. Basically, differentiated case management involves a screening process where you identify cases early on in the process that may have more, require more time, more court events than the normal cases. There could be all kinds of types of cases and so forth. So you create a track for those type of cases that you have identified through the screening process. And you set up court processes and events in that particular track to address that particular need of that particular case. And in essence, what it does, it allows you to move that case at a different pace with different processes and so forth to disposition, which will not slow down those majority of cases that do not fit into that particular category. And it's a differentiated approach to handling that particular type of case. The jurisdictions, and there's some articles in here, and it's a lot more detail involved in my brief explanation of it. But the experiences that I have heard about from jurisdictions that do use it have been very positive. The criteria is possible in developing that criteria that's screened by. It is absolutely critically important in developing that criteria that you have the prosecution, you have the defense bar that have input. They're going to know to a great degree what's involved in their aspect of moving that case along, time-wise and so forth. Yes?
I would just offer this observation. If you do this kind of system, this is my observation, I think it's critically important that you stick with it for a while, because what happens is people won't revert to what they used to. There's a culture in every community, a legal culture about how things are done, and this is a major change for that.
Right.
So when the change is made, you've got to stick with it, long enough where it becomes a new norm.
Yeah. 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 Well, and I think you do that. You identify those downs through monitoring of the process. That systems monitoring and getting the information to be able to do that. But it's been a very effective, and again, it's pretty involved in terms of designing and implementing. But it's absolutely critical. Again, I can't stress it enough that the parties and the attorneys, the attorneys representing the parties, have input in developing the criteria and helping determine the reasonableness of the time events and delineating and when they are and so forth. Otherwise, you get into a situation where you are jamming time down attorneys' throats, and they don't have adequate time to prepare a complicated case. But that's one of the techniques is the differentiated case management. Again, there's several articles in the resource booklet that deals with that. Case management conferences we've talked about. Established a policy regarding continuances. It is important that policy that you establish that it is consistently used. If you for whatever reason you're not consistent with the policy, and again the policy allows for genuine continuances or necessary continuances, that the policy be consistently enforced. Ongoing information system to monitor the process to ensure the goals are achieved, and continuing consultation. And the benefits we've talked about, there's benefits across the board to the parties. There's benefits to the public. It's benefits to the counties, to the attorneys. It's across the board when you have a fair and just, effective criminal case flow management system. I am going to sit down finally, and Richard is going to talk for about 15 minutes, and then we just have a few wrap-up comments after that. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Goldman.